Alright, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. On land, at sea and in forests as well as on mountains, there is food all around us. We just have to open up our senses and reconnect with nature. Our producer Linky Bierman and cameraman Trevor Pistorius went coastal foraging in the Cape Peninsula area. Let's take a look at this.
Just beneath the water, in the magical world of rock pools, you will find an abundance of food. All you need to do is to wait for the moon to be full and the tide to be out for this hidden treasure to reveal itself. You just need to know what to look out for. Roshana Gray gives courses in wild food foraging. We met up with her at Scarborough Beach to learn more about coastal foraging.
A very important thing is to be legal, and in order to do that you need a mollusk permit. And one of these, number 9 on the list, mollusks, which it's a whole lot of different things, but it includes aquatic plants. And you can purchase it from any post office, and it costs 96 Rand, and it's available up to a year from purchase. So for a small bowl of mussels, the same cost as a small bowl of mussels at a restaurant, you can get food for a whole year.
There are 3 mussel species along the Cape West coast, of which 2 are the most prolific, the black mussel and the Mediterranean mussel.
The best way is to go for the alien invaders, and that is the Mediterranean mussels. So once you can tell the difference between the black mussels and the Mediterranean mussels, then rather go for those. They are on the invasive alien list, and so it makes sense to be eating those rather. It's very important that the area that you're collecting the seaweeds and the shellfish from is clean. Pollutants would be detrimental to the foods. So the way that the seaweeds live is that they absorb everything in the water around them. So that if there's pollutants or contaminants in the water, they'll be present in the seaweeds. So you don't want to be collecting anywhere near a city. The further away from the city, the better.
With around 800 species of seaweed along our coast, we are truly spoiled for choice. Always remember to pick seaweed attached to the rocks and only cut off about 1/3 of the plant. This allows for the plant to regenerate.
Kelp is the most sustainable seaweed to harvest because it's the fastest growing. It grows up to 3 millimeters a day, and you can harvest the kelp fronds or leaves quite sustainably. You want to go for the younger, lighter looking fronds, and then you can basically cook it like pasta. Just bring a pot of water to the boil. You can add these guys in. You can chop them up into lasagna-sized sheets, cook them through your pasta machine for tagliatelle, and then you can cook them like a pasta substitute. Otherwise, you can cook them in the same method, and you can use it as a vegetable. This is our wild Atlantic nori, and it grows on the rocks. You'll see it looks like black plastic balloons that have popped on the rocks, and this is full of protein, more than any land plant has to offer. So all vegetarians and vegans should definitely be including this in their diet. This one is called sea lettuce, with this beautiful emerald green color. It's the easiest seaweed to identify because it looks like lettuce from the sea. And I think that's what we must remember with all of these seaweeds is that like we have land vegetables, we have coastal vegetables as well. And they have, like land vegetables, they have their own season, they have their own flavor profile, they have their own nutritional value. This is called rack. You can see it has this beautiful new spring growth, full of nutrients, and it's such a gorgeous seaweed. It's so pretty, and so it makes a beautiful garnish in pretty much anything. And it's a nice addition to coleslaws and salads and sandwich toppers. This one is lovely. It's called Slippery Orbit, and if you feel it, you can feel exactly why. It's very slippery and slimy. And this is great for thickening soups and stews. So the more that you cook with it, the more it disintegrates and dissolves into your liquid. Another lovely way of using it is to use it in a roast. So your sweet potatoes or your roast chicken, you can dot it with garlic and herbs, and then you wrap it around like that, pop it in the oven, and the inside stays all moist and the outside gets this delicious crisp umami layer. And the last one, this is tongueweed, and you can see why. It looks just like a little animal's tongue, and it's got these little nodules on. So another way of benefiting from the nutrients in the seaweed is to absorb it through your skin. And you can do this by either having a seaweed bath, so collecting all of these, popping them in your bath, and then when seaweed hits fresh water, they start leaching the nutrients out into the fresh water, and so your body will just absorb everything. And then you can dry these and use them as an exfoliator as well.
Acid weed, as the name tells us, is the one seaweed you should not harvest.
This is acid weed, or Desmorestia firma. It's part of the kelp family, and you can see it's already started disintegrating here. What happens is when it comes into contact with the air, it's full of sulfuric acid, and then it starts disintegrating. And you can see what happens, it washes up into the rocks here, and then it'll etch a silhouette of itself onto the rocks like that. Quite beautiful, but you definitely don't want to be eating that.
If you are living along the coast or just visiting, get your permit, make your way down to the tidal pools and start foraging. It's a fun way to spend the morning, and you will have all the ingredients necessary to prepare a healthy feast. Linky Bierman, Morning Live, Cape Town.